but you'll have so much water, and it'll be a great thing. And some of the most fertile, I will tell you, for the farmers in the room, I don't know if you know it or not, but I got $28 billion for the farmers, some of the people and farmers here, from China. Who the hell else is going to get money from China? Who would ask for money? I said to the Secretary of Agriculture, Sonny Perdue, I said, Sonny, because China took very big advantage of us during the Obama years, and really bad. And at the beginning of mine, I said, what's going on over here? People would complain, and I figured it out. Said, how much damage have they caused the farmers over the last 3 or 4 years? They said, sir, about $28 billion. I say, all right, good. We're going to put a big tariff on. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. Nobody knows this. We put in tariffs on their cars coming in, everything. In fact, the 27.5% tariff on the cars, they haven't gotten rid of it because so much money, it's so big that they cannot justify getting rid of it. It's unbelievable. You wouldn't have any car plants if I didn't have that. China would have been sending their cars at levels that nobody's ever seen before. But they paid us billions and billions. I took in $28 billion and gave it to the farmers. That's why I was told by my great professional, Susie Wiles, I was told by my great professionals over there that they said, sir, please don't say that. It sounds too obnoxious. I said, I don't mind being obnoxious, because I'd say very strongly, I'd say there's no way I could lose Iowa, Nebraska, Wisconsin, any of the states. You have a lot of farming here. There's no way I could lose. No farmers ever voting. I gave them $28 billion from China. Nobody else would have asked for that. Could you imagine? You go up to Biden. He's a corrupt person. You go up to Biden, you say, you know, I want you to ask China to pay $28 billion to our farmers. You know what he'd say? I can't do that. They paid me a fortune. I'm going to get myself in trouble. They paid him a fortune. Do you think he can go up and ask him? They'll say, we're going to expose you. You know, he's a Manchurian candidate. That's what he is. All the currently dry canals will be brimming and used to irrigate everything, including your own homes and bathrooms and everything. You're going to be happy, and I'm going to get it done fast. They say that there's so much water up north that I want to have the overflow areas go into your forests and dampen your forests, because if you dampen your forests, you're not going to have these forest fires that are burning at levels that nobody's ever seen before. We have very poor land management. And remember when I said that a couple of years ago as president, I said, man, we're sending billions of dollars to California for forest fires. Their forests are burning down. And I was with a gentleman, a very top person in Austria. He said, sir, we have more flammable trees than you do on your coast. We don't have forest fires. We have land management. They take care of the land. They pick up the dead trees. You know, a tree doesn't burn very easily unless it's dead. Then it gets dry and it burns. The leaves on the ground, they're 5 feet thick over here. They clean the floor. And everybody said, oh, how ridiculous management of a forest. You know, they all said, like, what the hell? But they don't have forest fires in properly run locations. What we have is horrible. And we can actually dampen our forests with water that costs us nothing, that will come pouring down from the north. Wouldn't that be nice? If you had dampened floors, you wouldn't have forest fires. So we'll work on that too. But I couldn't convince this guy, Gavin, to do it, because he's an environmental maniac, only for political reasons. You know, he's no dummy. He knows it's wrong. He knows what they're doing is wrong. I watched him the other night being interviewed by the great Sean Hannity, and I said, you know, he understands it, but he's playing a game, because that's the base, I guess. But it's, you know, people say to me, are you conservative? Yes, you're conservative, sir. I said, I'm conservative. But really what I am is a person of common sense. We need borders. We need elections. We need water. We need water for places like California, for your farmers. I mean, those farms would make a fortune. You know, it's among the best land in the world, and nobody knows it. Nobody can do anything about it because of the water. So we're going to get it all done. And if they don't do it, it's very simple. We're just going to say, that's okay. You take care of your own forest fires and all the other things that are happening, billions and billions of dollars, and they'll sign whatever they want. We had COVID come in, and that sort of changed our little direction for a little while. We had to do something there. We did a great job with that. You know, interestingly, when we had the COVID, we took a big hit. Every country in the world did. And by the time I gave it over to these lunatics, by the time we gave it over, the most incredible thing, our stock market was higher than it was just prior to COVID coming in. Nobody can even believe it. So it was higher than it was. And what they're doing is they're really running on the fumes of Trump. They're doing a terrible job, inflation, all that. And if you really look at the numbers with the inflation, how that's destroying. You know, inflation is called a country killer. You can look at countries over the last 200 years, big inflation like we have and have had, but like we have. I don't know if you looked at your gasoline today, $6. Oh, they said higher. I know. I heard $8. I didn't want to say it because I can't believe it. But you have, $8 gasoline in some parts of your area, and all over the country, gasoline's going way up. Don't forget, they kept it artificially low by taking the oil out of and the gas out of the strategic oil reserves. That's meant for wars. That's not meant to keep people's gasoline down so they can win an election. That's meant for very serious purposes. I got it filled up. Now it's at the lowest point it's ever been at. They drained it, and that was artificial. But that only lasts for a fairly short period of time. So now new records are being set at gasoline. Gavin has become crooked Joe Biden's top surrogate, I think, because he doesn't think Biden is going to make it. That's why he's doing it. He doesn't think he's going to make it, and it won't be him so easy. He's going to have a big fight. However, because there will be a lot of Democrats competing, it's going to be very interesting. But let's see. Look, some people say Biden's going to make it. Does anybody think he's going to make it to the starting gate? I mean, the guy can't find his way off of a stage. Look, here's a stage. Here's a stage. I've never seen this stupid stage before, right? I've never seen it. But if I walk left, there's a stair. And if I walk right, there's a stair. And this guy gets up. Where am I? Where the hell am I? Where am I? Nah, he's terrible. Terrible. You know, I'm much tougher on him than I used to be. Out of respect for the office, I was never like. He's the most corrupt president, the most incompetent president we've ever had. But when they indicted me, and then again and again and again, I was never indicted. Now I'm setting records. Al Capone was not indicted so much. Alphonse Capone. If you looked at Al Capone in the wrong way, he'd kill you. He was not indicted like me. I was never indicted. I didn't know. When they taught me at the Wharton School of Finance, they didn't talk about indictment. It's a disgrace what's happening. They've weaponized elections. They've done everything. I mean, these are very bad people. But I used to talk relatively nicely about them. I wouldn't go out of my way. I wouldn't say the things I say now. Now I'm just all in because these people are bad and they're dangerous, and we have to stop them. I wouldn't say what I say now. I never did. I'd joke. I'd have a little fun with it, but I wouldn't call him. I call him the worst president in history. I call him the most corrupt president in history, and I call him the most incompetent president. Other than that, he's doing a fabulous job, I think, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing a fabulous job. Along with crooked Joe Biden, Newsom is also killing our car industry. Your cars are ridiculous, what's happening, and crushing our great automakers in Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina, crushing them. Under his leadership, this is Newsom, California has imposed the most ridiculous car regulations anywhere in the world with mandates to move to all-electric cars. The problem with an electric car, number one, you lose all your jobs because they're all going to be made in China and other countries. They're not going to be made here at all. I was up in the other day in Michigan, the other night. We had an incredible crowd. And they were the United Auto Workers and others, but we were sort of focused on the auto workers. I said, you got to endorse Trump because I'm going to save your industry. We're going to have a thriving car industry. This lunatic is going to destroy. He's going to go all electric. Think about all electric. And I have no problem with electric. You should be able to buy an electric car. You should buy a gas-fired car. You should buy a hybrid. You should buy whatever the hell you want. I mean, some people like electric. If you want to drive for 14 minutes to the candy store, electric is very good. But if you actually want to get into a car and drive for a few hours, you know, they're doing a couple of other ones with electric. They're going electric crazy. It doesn't work. They want all electric army tanks now. Think of this. So they want to have an army tank that's electric. You can't get it recharged. It doesn't go far enough. It doesn't go strong enough. But they want to have electric.